All right.
All right.
Terrence is going to repeat me.
They're just going to repeat me.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
All right.
All right.
Starting off
Starting
the podcast
off the
good.
podcast good.
What is up, Glory Gang?
Yo.
I'm Austin.
And I'm Darren.
And we are the Glory Boys.
Yeah.
And you are listening to the Glory Boys podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's episode, you asked, we answered. We got a Q&A episode for you. Super excited for it, but let's roll that intro.
Well, all right, here we are back on the Glory Boys podcast. It's good to be back with you.
It is good to be
Before
back.
we move any further, that's so nice.
Got to get the C4. The C stands for crack in this one.
Oh, it's so good. We love C4. We drink a lot of it. Trying to cut back a little bit, but
A little bit. Yeah, just a little though.
instead of every day, it's like every other day.
Right.
But we'll get there.
Yeah, so today actually not today, the last time we were filming an episode of the podcast, which we apologize, we did not get an episode out last week. Unfortunately, we're kicking off into wedding season. Got a lot of commercial stuff right now popping off. Everybody come April time, April, May, typically everyone wants to shoot videos in this time period.
Yep.
So it's been really busy, and as much as we didn't want to slip on releasing podcasts every single week, we had 1 week where it just didn't work out.
Yeah, we even thought about coming back the day after the shoot, the day of the shoot, right after, and just go and record something really quick, even if it was just audio.
Yeah.
But we're like, no, we want to do it quality. We want it to be great. So here we are, batch shooting a bunch of episodes for you, so we won't let you down in the further weeks.
For sure. But when we were filming our last episode, we took a Q&A, little ask us questions on Instagram, and a few of you submitted some questions, so we're going to be answering them in today's episode. But before we dive into the episode, if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, it would mean a ton to us if you would follow, download the podcast, leave us a rating. If you're watching on YouTube, please consider subscribing. It really helps us out. Drop a like on this video if you like it, and leave a comment down below of what question you have for the next Q&A that we do, because we will be doing more of these episodes in the future. So
we will.
Leave a comment, subscribe. If you want to see our content every Wednesday and Friday, we're dropping videos. Hit the bell on YouTube to be notified. Ding! And that is all of the shameless plug. We can get into the episode now. But first, yeah, let's catch up. How you doing? How have things been? Let's kind of catch everybody up to speed on what we've been up to. It's been a few weeks since we recorded podcasts.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's been busy.
Yeah.
Like really busy. Good busy. And I don't even like to use the word busy, but our schedule has been very full.
Yep.
So we were just hanging out. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago? We were hanging out with some cows. We were hanging out. We were hanging out with some cows in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. There's a really awesome company that we love working with called Nyman Ranch. And every few months, they hit us up for kind of a random little gig. So we'll drive out to some farm or some ranch out in the middle of nowhere, literally in the middle of nowhere, no cell reception, nothing. And we'll usually do some kind of interview style with a farmer that's producing at their farm. So it's really cool, but we were in the middle of nowhere in Nebraska. We shot a music video recently. But I mean, aside from all the work stuff, what have we been doing? I mowed my lawn the other day.
That's good. I need to mow mine terribly. I was supposed to mow it on Tuesday. It's now Friday. When we're shooting this, obviously you're listening on a Wednesday, but that's been 3 days. It rained a bunch this week.
It did.
So
my rain was lame.
And dude, the dandelions this year are just
terrible,
gnarly. So I feel really bad. My neighbor probably hates me. Sorry, Buffy, but I need
Buffy?
to mow. Yeah, her name's Buffy.
That's a sick,
awesome.
like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's
seriously.
legit.
So
Let's go.
I need to mow real bad.
Yeah.
I'm doing
And you have a rider.
tomorrow.
You have no excuse.
I know, no excuse, but I'll do it tomorrow. Okay?
You got that John Deere, don't
Get
you?
off me. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. What else has been up?
Taking care of Hazel. I have a 4-month-old. Actually, she'll be 5 months old here soon.
Dang.
And she's just getting so big.
And cute.
It's crazy. Yeah, she's super cute. She's starting to like push up onto her hands a little bit. So who knows? In no time, she'll be crawling around, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been great, but the hardest thing ever. Just not getting sleep pretty consistently. Trying to help my wife out as much as I can, but obviously I have to be here full time, and she has the opportunity to stay home with Hazel. So yeah, just balancing that. Has been a fun challenge. We went on a date night last night, which was awesome. So yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
date nights are important
for sure.
We vlogged for the first time the other day.
It was fun.
That was really fun.
First time in like 2 years.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
The last time we vlogged, we didn't even put it out because I somehow lost the library that was like almost done, and then it was like 8 months later.
It was a fun vlog too. We went to Houston, and it was like really awesome. We went to Whataburger, and we had this like cool B-roll sequence of, you know, like putting the food and eating it, and dipping our nugs in some sauce.
About that.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then remember the lady was like super cool, and she's like, "Yo, I'll be on your vlog." And
and then we never put it out.
Yeah, we got some cool drone footage of the pier. We went to
Kima.
Yep.
Kima Beach or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
Yeah,
we just rolled up to this random pier, and there was like all this stuff happening. We're like, hey, let's hang out.
Yeah, it was like a little amusement park.
Yeah, it was cool.
By the ocean.
So anyway, you'll never see it because we lost all the footage and it's gone forever. So anyway, it was a good time, good memories. It's in our minds at least.
Sure.
So but today we're going to dive into some questions that you asked and we will answer.
Yes.
And the first question that was asked by you lovely people was, why you pretty?
Why?
Austin, why you pretty?
Because I woke up like this.
My
mama made me that way,
okay.
I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Cool. On to the real question. How do you juggle work-life balance and best piece of advice on how to juggle this?
Well, we actually did a whole episode kind of along these lines of juggling work-life balance, family work balance. So my first answer would be
go listen
check
to
that
it
out. So we do that. We do break that down in detail, but my quick answer to that would be setting boundaries is really important. Especially if you're self-employed, because as everyone knows, if you're self-employed, yes, you control your calendar, but a lot of the times your calendar seems to control you if you let it. And so you really have to set boundaries with that is my answer. Yeah,
boundaries is really good. And letting your yes be yes and letting your no be no, and just really leading in that will be tremendous in helping you balance your work and your just everyday life.
Yeah, that's good.
And then setting priorities, I would say, is another thing, is really, really big.
For sure.
Making sure that work doesn't get the first priority. Your relationship with God, your wife, your family, if you have kids, and then it goes to work. So just making sure that priority list is set. Sometimes it does get out of order, and it's okay, but just, I think a sign of growth or a sign of strength is recognizing, okay, man, I've really been putting work over my wife. I'm going to really fix that this week, because that does happen sometimes. So just, getting your priorities straight, getting your life together, just so that you can balance work and everyday life. Yeah.
One thing we've been talking about even this week too is, a lot of times we won't get home at a specific time, or we'll, I feel like this happens on a daily basis. My wife will ask me, what time are you coming home? And I'm like,
same.
I don't know, when all of the things are done, which really is not an acceptable answer. If you want your wife to have stability and be able to really manage if you want to be able to manage your life well. So one thing we talked about is, hey, if we can, every Sunday or someday in the week before the week starts, look at our schedule and really set like, okay, this day we're going home at 5:30 p.m. This day, okay, we're going to work a little bit late. But just having that, really just a plan, being intentional with it, not letting your schedule just overrule your life is the only thing I would add to that.
100%. I love that.
All right, moving on to question number 2.
Let's
this one's
do it.
Coming from our boy Ray. he asked, what is some new gear you have your eyes on and why? That's a great question. And we actually just put our Ursa up for sale. We have a ton of people asking us, why are you selling the Ursa? I think
it's not good.
Yeah, no. It's awesome.
It is awesome.
But we've had a lot of people asking, why are you selling the Ursa? And there's a lot of reasons, but really it just wasn't making the difference in our work that we expected it to.
Yeah.
And so that's a great question. What is some new gear you guys have your eyes on? Because really the goal with the sale of the Ursa is that we take that money and reinvest it into equipment that we feel will make a huge difference in our work. And so a couple of those things being a bicolor light, like a Aperture 120D that we use right now, which is not bicolor, it's just daylight. So we're looking into the Nanlite Forza 300B as a new key light setup, or having a couple of those which are just bicolor, super bright kind of point source lights. A couple other things that we really want to look into is a better microphone, better shotgun mic. Looking at the Sennheiser MKH 416, I think it's called.
Nice.
Really popular shotgun mic, really kind of the industry standard, it seems, for the film world. So really working on stepping up our lighting and audio game. And why, that's just really, it's going to make the biggest difference in our work, I think. That's the one thing that if I walk into a set, that's the one potential downside that I could have, or one thing that I always wish that I could do something, because I'm limited by the lighting.
Totally.
Almost never limited by the camera itself.
Yeah. What's the goal for your company long term? That is a loaded question.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have an answer. I don't know if you have an answer that's just like, hey, this is the goal. But for me, right off the bat, the goal is to build a quality production house that empowers people that maybe never thought about being in this industry before, to then equip a team to really just crush life. And I say that like wherever we go, I want them to feel like we need to raise the bar because Glory Visuals is around. Yeah, like I want whatever city we work in, I want whatever production companies we work with, I want whatever wedding that we're working, whatever it is that we're working on, music video, I want them to be like, there's nobody like this. Like the level of professionalism, the relational value, the knowledge, the care, the heart, the love for what they do. I just all around. And then obviously the quality of work we're putting out and the diverse profile that we have. I just want to be this ever-growing company that just inspires people to be better at what they do.
Yeah, one thing that I want to do is I want to have our own, really like state of the art, especially for Omaha. But I want to have our own studio, our own film location.
Yep.
And ultimately I want to have many of them.
Totally.
But as far as like a first goal, first long-term goal, we want to have a building. We want to have designers, animators, audio engineers in-house, that there's no project, no scope that between the people that are part of this company that we can't handle. And so really we want to be able to connect with, we have so many talented friends.
Yep.
There's so much talent in Omaha, but I feel like we do get slept on as a city because we're not a Nashville or a Hollywood. And so I feel like a big goal of our company is to bring that to the Midwest. Yeah. To really just, like you said, elevate the level of professionalism. Yeah. We want to have a podcast studio that's permanent, that we can rent out, that people can come in that don't, want to learn about all the equipment and processing and all of the technicalities that go into making a really high quality podcast. Totally. So we want to just help people with that. And that would just open the door for a million other goals, I think.
Yeah, I would say even just a short-term goal for us, we've been talking and praying and really believing for, is just having our own building, whether that we buy one or we find one or lease to own one, whatever that looks like. But that's a huge goal. Like we set other goals this past year, like starting a podcast. Well, here we are starting a podcast. Yep. And obviously starting a podcast is a little bit easier of an investment in startup than buying a building. But I just think that we just always have to keep striving for more. I believe God has his best for this company, and he has brought us this far. And I think, let's just keep chasing after what he has for us. And I think those opportunities are going to come.
Yeah.
Buildings are very expensive. We have to probably shoot like 1 million weddings to be able to buy one. But here's the deal. I believe in a very big God. You believe in a very big God. And this company honors God with all of our work and all that we do. So we're just going to keep pressing forward, and we just pray that we connect with the right people, people that, maybe are in commercial real estate and want to help us out, or they have an idea or find a place in Omaha to, help us along in the journey. So we're just going to keep chasing after that. Cause I think, like you said, it would just open up the door for so many other opportunities, and not just for us. Like you said, we can help raise the bar and the quality of other people's podcasts by letting them sit right here in these seats and use this, or teaching people how to just be better at the content that they're creating for their companies, and also having a studio. We would love so much to have a ready studio with lights in the ceiling and backdrops and, different walls we can roll in, and soundproofing and just all kinds of stuff. We have a lot of ideas, a lot of dreams, a lot of goals. But I think it would be really, really, really cool to see a GV building for sure.
What is the next question? We got a question from Noah. What are some steps you took to grow your business from small to where you are now?
That's great.
Honestly, I don't know that there are any big like light bulb epiphany steps that we took.
Sure.
I think it's just small steps over time.
Yeah.
And really, at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to being faithful with everything that we're given, every project that we have. And that's something that we just continue to get better at and talk about. How can we get better at is how can we be just super faithful with everything that we're given.
Yep.
As we started out, we were hustling. We still hustle, but we were hustling connections, trying to meet people, trying to get in the door, trying to shake hands, doing a lot of free work. We also have an episode talking about that, so go back and check that out if you want to. We at first, it was just doing everything and anything that we could to get our name out there, to meet people. And then once we kind of got a little bit of that, I would say, and from the beginning, it's just being faithful with everything that we're given. And that's turned into more over time, steadily.
Yeah, and I think too, you always hear you want to do the work that you want more of. So obviously we've done a lot of projects that we don't necessarily want to do more of, but there is like this thing where if we were blessed with a job and somebody was going to pay us, we were going to take it. Thankfully, we're in a place now. We don't have to take everything that comes our way. We can kind of be selective. And, there's some of those projects that are inappropriate, even of, a hip hop music video that we're just not going to be a part of. Just because of our own personal beliefs and what we value. But some of the steps that I think that we took too was when you even get some of those jobs that you don't necessarily want, you can still kind of maneuver them into. We joked about this the other day. We were shooting cows, and we're like, hey, did we make sure we get a couple of those like cinematic shots to put in the shot? I mean, it's an interview with a farmer. I mean, what else can you do? But there's like this little touch that we do on all of these videos for this client because we want it to feel a little cinematic because that's what we're passionate about. And they love it. And if we didn't do it, they probably wouldn't notice. But the fact that we do like add this little bit of touch of creative, artistic, cinematic little love to it. I mean, it raises it to the next level. And what does that do? It allows for other people to see that work and see the cinematic ability and be like, hey, this is like a video of like an interview with a farmer, but will you shoot my wedding? Or, hey, will you shoot my company kind of like this? It's crazy, but you can add your flavor. Obviously, you don't want to just very stylize everything to what you want. You always want to talk to the client and make sure that works out. But you do add your little touch to it as a company. And I think that can go beyond, and you can gain a ton of other jobs that you do want through that process.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. You just touched on our last 2 episodes, really, going above and beyond and asking the right questions. That what you just said is probably in a nutshell, what steps we took. So what are some steps you took to grow your business from small to where you are now? We just went above and beyond.
Yep.
Not drastically, but just a little bit above and beyond. And really just prioritized excellence in everything we did.
Yeah.
Just been faithful with that and as best as we could.
Yep.
All right. Next question is,
I think this is the last one.
Last one.
Last question. Oh, it's the second to last.
2 more questions.
2 more questions.
All right. What has been, so we'll start with the first part. This is a double whammy. What has been the most challenging thing about running a business?
The most challenging part about running a business is all the stuff that you do, like all the back end, like email, customer acquisition, customer relations, really, and communication, email, all that stuff for me. Like I was never good at it. I had a company for 2 years and it's funny because when we started Glory Visuals, I went back to like old websites and old accounts and things. And I saw like hundreds of different opportunities to get hired for jobs. And I totally missed out on different ones, weddings. It was probably for the better. I was terrible, just all around. So it was probably good. It was probably God protecting them from me. But I think some of those are the most challenging. I think the next challenging for me is when you hire an employee, just making sure that they are continuing to feel purpose and feel like just inspired to grow. And I feel like when I hit a wall with all the things that I know and I can teach, I think, just having an employee, it's a different challenge, but I love it too, because it's like a stretch and it's a grow. You move from just a worker to being, I guess, a quote unquote boss, but it's just a different dynamic. It's a different ownership. It's a different level of caring and thinking. And now you're responsible for someone. And then also you're trying to have vision for you and yourself and your company, but you're also having vision for them. And then you have to impart that vision so that they can chase after it. It's just been, it's been a fun like process, I think, since last November, really developing that, but it's also a massive challenge.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it would probably be the fact that you don't have someone telling you what to do. You don't have somebody telling you the times that you need to get there and leave.
Yeah.
Which can be really great because there's freedom in that. You know, everybody wants that part of it. Like, I want to be in control of my schedule. It's not quite that simple, unfortunately. It is definitely a massive challenge because you can't just take PTO if there's something booked or whatever. Like, typically, if you work a normal 9 to 5, you can just take PTO because there's 50 other people doing the same thing that you're doing.
Yep.
When you are self-employed, it's a little bit harder to do that. So not only that, but just what to do with your day, how to structure your day. You have to be the one being intentional with your time and managing your schedule. Yep. Because there's no one else to do it for you. And like I said earlier in this episode, if you don't control your calendar, it controls you, especially if you work for yourself. And so that would be the most challenging thing, I think, for me, is just not having somebody to keep me on track. So we have to do it for each other. We have to do it for ourselves. Yep. And learn ways to structure your week, block out your time where you can make sure that you're managing everything effectively.
Totally. No, that's a great one. I agree.
What's the most rewarding thing about running a business?
Rewarding. Oh, because it's 2-part.
Yeah.
The most rewarding thing about running a business, I would say, is kind of like what we were just talking about. It is having that freedom. Like, I don't have to really stress if like something comes up and we have to take off. I think we do a really great job of communicating that stuff. Like, hey, this day I'm going to have to be out, or this day. I think that's pretty rewarding. The other thing that's rewarding is also, I would say this is kind of contradicting, but I'd say hiring employees, like, it's super rewarding to see people that you hire flourish in gifts that they maybe didn't know that they had. So like for Bray, for instance, like I love that she's like getting so good at like wedding films and really up to speed. And it was a process, like going through some films with her and like going through each edit and going through each why we do certain things, why we don't do certain things as a company in our edits. But like just seeing her really flourish, and now I don't even really have to think about her. She just like crushes life, and like her edits get better every time. So that's really cool with Will too, like seeing him like grow a passion for social media and taking bits and pieces of this wedding film or this behind the scenes clip of you like falling downstairs or, you know, just like random stuff. And then like seeing the value in that and like wanting to post it. And it's just cool to see him like grab a hold of something and have vision and get excited. And then like now we're getting all these posts scheduled out. And today, like you're complaining about the cart that we got from Costco on our post and he just posted it or whatever. And it's just cool because he's really seeing the value he brings in our company with finding great social media engagement posts and posting them out and getting them onto Twitter and Instagram. And I mean, he's scheduled out Facebook stuff and Instagram and Twitter, and he's even building like a Pinterest board for us and just like helping our company grow on social media, which is just cool. I love empowering leaders. I love empowering people and bringing them in and seeing them flourish and seeing them like find passions that they didn't have before. So that's super rewarding for me, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And kind of along those lines, what I would say is, we did the staff gathering episode and that, it really opened my eyes to how many people in our circle locally, not including people that follow us on social media or that watch our podcast.
Yep.
If you're watching our podcast or listening to our podcast right now and we don't know you, we haven't met you, like that's insane.
Yep.
Like we don't take that for granted. So if you're listening to this right now and we don't know you personally, like it means so much to us that you're listening to this right now.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about for us. Like, we want to have fun. Yeah. Of course we want to make tons of money. We want to hire people, buy buildings. There's a lot of like material goals. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think the most rewarding thing for me is to see other people look at what we're doing and say, I think I could do that.
100%.
And then go and start their own thing and then go full time. Like we've seen multiple people start companies, whether it's photography or design or whatever.
Yeah.
And so far we have yet to see them go full time, but I know that it will happen.
Yeah, it's coming.
I mean, it's already like on its way for
we even
a couple
think
of them.
Of even Lindsay being just graduating high school this year and is like already booked a few weddings this year. We've kind of gave her some of our templates and our questionnaires and things that we use for our brides, just really setting her up for success. Like that's crazy. She's not even 18 now. Lindsay, she goes to our church. She's a part of our digital content team. She's so amazing, but super talented. And she's like, I kind of want to do this full time, but I don't know. And we've just helped equip her she's, way ahead of us in what her possibilities as a filmmaker, as a photographer. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's super rewarding, just getting to bring people along in the journey.
Yep.
And I don't even like saying inspire people, but people are inspired by what we're doing, I guess. As it's weird crazy as that sounds and as like weird as it sounds to say it about myself, but it is super rewarding. And we put a lot of time into people, mostly through our local church. And that's kind of how Bray came to work for us, how Will came to work for us. And, we just want to help build people. Cause that's ultimately the most rewarding thing.
Yep.
Whether that means them going off and starting their own thing and winning and having a happy life full of joy. That's super rewarding, or whether it's that person eventually working for us and helping us build this.
Totally.
So last question here from Berkey Boy.
Berkey Boy.
Our friend Burke. What would you guys be doing if you weren't running your own production company?
Wow.
Mic drop.
That's a great ender.
Yeah, it is. Well, I actually did apply at Costco last week. No, that's funny. We always joke about that.
Just going to go work at Costco real quick.
If there's ever like a day where just things aren't going our way or whatever, we just joke about going to work at Costco.
Costco's awesome though. I love Costco. Yeah. I feel like it wouldn't even be a terrible career.
We know some people that work there and they love their jobs.
Great benefits.
Yeah, for sure.
Discounts on already discounted goods. I mean, let's go.
All right. Well, this is the last episode of the Glory Boys podcast before Darren and I go both work at Costco. But no, what would we do if we weren't running our own production company? If I had never met you, well, we were both at My City Church. So I'm trying to think of like, if I was at My City Church, but I didn't meet you and I didn't start, we didn't start this, what would I be doing?
Yeah.
I feel like both of us would be involved in music at some capacity.
Yeah.
If we weren't doing this. Because I feel like if we were to list like our passions, not necessarily even in order, because I know music is a huge passion, maybe even equal to filmmaking.
Sure.
But I feel like we would probably spend more time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whether that's trying to write music, learning how to produce music, record music, like especially if we knew each other.
Yeah.
In the church that we're in with the creative team that we're in, like we probably would be involved heavily in music, I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah, secret little nugget. One of our goals as a company someday is to write and release like a record.
That'd be sick.
Austin and I really like music a lot. And so that's all I'll say about that. Maybe someday we'll be just dropping some heat.
But even if we don't, like we want to have a recording studio that artists book because it's the best.
Yeah.
Even though that's not really like related to what we do, but
right.
it is in a way.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what I'd be doing because before GV, I was let go from one of the startups that I worked with. I would probably be doing some sort of digital marketing for a company, probably like a desk job, like probably not creating the content that I want to create, but hoping to get there one day.
Yep.
Like being the office camera guy that just does whatever. I would probably be doing more photo and design, and probably not very happy.
Yeah. Probably same. I mean, I would probably be working a desk job as well. Maybe still working at Dex Media. No, I would not be working at Dex Media because I got fired.
Yeah, you did. On your birthday.
even if we weren't doing this, I would not be working for Dex Media. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good question. And it's kind of crazy because I can't really see myself doing anything else. Like I can't picture what my life would be like had we not started this 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's really weird to think about. It's like you think of your future without this and it just all looks blank.
Yep.
It's really
I was
weird.
actually just thinking about that like last night, pretty recently. I was just thinking through like something that I had remembered and I was like, I didn't even know Darren at that point. I'm like, weird. What did I do with my life? Like,
what did I do without you?
What did I do without Darren? But no,
kind of serious.
But I mean, we have spent 40 to 80 hours a week together for the last 4 years, pretty much. So.
Hey, 40 to maybe even 100 some of those weeks.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, that's a good question. I feel like just knowing who we are, we would be doing something on
creative,
our own,
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. There's only so long that you can like box up a person that has that desire because I mean if I don't learn, if I'm not learning something new, I'm sad.
Yeah.
Like I get to be a sad boy when I'm not learning something new. So I feel like it's just part of who we are. It's pretty deeply ingrained in our personalities that like we were never destined to work for someone.
Yeah.
It's permanently. So I'm sure we probably would have found our way into some sort of thing. But
yeah. And then I thought about too, just being around the amazing people at our church. Like we probably would have been inspired to start something or do something, but thank God we didn't. And we're here and we have Glory Visuals. We have the Glory Boys podcast. We're freaking killing it. And I would not want to do anything else.
Me either.
With anyone else.
Aww.
Love you,
all right.
buddy.
I love you too. That I think wraps up this episode of the podcast.
Yeah, it does.
This is a lot more long-winded than I anticipated.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? You guys asked and we answered. So if you enjoyed this episode, what should you do with your life?
If you guys liked this episode, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are watching on our YouTube, and comment below if you have any questions that you want to know in the future. We would love to answer them. Again, we're here to just be real, honest, let you into our world, into our company, into our lives, and we want to help inspire and empower you guys in all that you do. And if you're listening to Apple Podcasts, like we said in the beginning, please rate this podcast. We would love to see that 5-star rating if you think it's worth that. And then leaving a comment. We love going through those. We have a bunch now. We're super excited to read those. And thank you guys so much for listening. We love you guys so much. We will see you in the next episode.
Peace.